Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone. Tonight, this is your boy Serviliers for Division 2 Racing in Divine Eye Racing League. Tonight, we have the famous, the wonderful, the lovely Abu Dhabi. It's a track that everyone seems to hate. Tonight, we've got the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And only 15 drivers tonight, which is unfortunately not a full grid. But nonetheless, it'll be interesting to see what our drivers can do tonight around what is usually the final race on the F1 calendar. Um, the sun will set, on during the race, so it will turn from a evening race, so to speak, to a night race for what is typically the finale of the Formula One season. As I mentioned, um, Yas Marina Circuit is actually its proper name, located on Yas Island in Abu Dhabi, is a 5.281 kilometer um, marvel, I guess you can say, of modern engineering, modern F1 engineering, combining high-speed straights, the two high-speed straights that you've got, lots and lots of tricky, twisty corners, and a stunning backdrop as well. Unique, as I've previously mentioned, a night or day to night transition. So plenty of scenery on offer if you are lucky enough, I'd say, to go and watch this race in person. Um, in terms of the championship, what have we got championship-wise? We've got Super Sean, who is now taking the lead in the championship, and unfortunately, he has DNF'd from the session in what seems to be turn one or so, just outside of turn one. So maybe he has a quali ban. I hope he is smart enough to save his setup. Otherwise, it'll be extremely, extremely unfortunate for him. But we're on board with an Aston Martin, who seems to be the first one out of the pits in order to start a flying lap. But in terms of the championship, we've got Super Sean, who's leading the way with 197 points. He took 21 points last time out in Belgium. The Bartofor, who was our championship leader, is just down by 2 points tonight. So it'll be interesting to see how he fights back from last week's race, where he unfortunately DNF'd. So we've got 2 point gap between P1 and P2 in the championship, followed by S Nathwani, who was able to secure, I believe, a P3 or P4 last time out in Spa. So that's put him up to P3 on 175 points, closely followed by Kev the Slice, another British driver for the team Ferrari, and he is on 173 points. So definitely some close battles between the top four at the moment, separated by, 24 points, I would say. But we're on board at the moment with Roberto, who is the first driver out on track to set the first hot lap of the session as he comes down into this tight chicane. Seems to get the braking zone pretty nailed on. Has a little bit of a tricky exit on the second part of the chicane there. But of course, we'll be going purple initially. Yeah, there we go. Goes purple. Seems to have a fairly decent line through the lovely bank corner, remodeled corner. In recent years, of course. Takes out a little pylon there, and this pylon to the left is Lewis Hamilton's best friend, and they were lucky not to invalidate there, but of course to lose a little bit of time. And DJ Lawson was actually the first driver across the line with 24.8. Roberto bests that pretty much immediately with a 24.0. Waza, let's see what Waza is able to do, and he goes P2 with 24.7. So a solid lap there from Roberto initially, and that's what Motion God did. So Motion God is able to go P4, P5, sorry, quickly bested by the Bartover. He goes top of the timesheet, so with a 23.9. So very solid lap there, has to be said, from Roberto early on. On board with Firefly now. Firefly has shown some pace certain points in this season, and looks to be picking up a little bit of a slipstream, not a huge amount, from the Mercedes driver in front of him there. And welcome to the stream, everyone, for those of you tuning in right now. A little bit deep there from Firefly. Hola, hola, welcome, Nopo. How we doing? How are we doing? I knew you would turn up. You can't. Lopo cannot resist some Division 2 racing here in Divine Eye Racing League. And Firefly is good week. Can you not hear me? Hello, hello. Is that a little bit better? Oh, this guy, man, you just trolled him. What a troll. Oh, good. Okay, perfect. Mic was a little bit far away. Just let me know how the sound goes. But Firefly goes top of the timesheet so far with a 23.8. So very, very solid lap indeed for the RB driver there. Go on board with Kodoy. Just low volume. Okay. I'll try not to be too loud into the mic, but I've got to make sure I keep it to a certain distance from my mouth. I don't like having the mic too close to my mouth. But let's see what Kodoy can do. He had a pretty good showing last time out in Spa, picking up a P4, I believe. And Kodoy goes P4 as well. A solid lap from him. Srivatsa, we'll be keen to see what this guy can do. He picked up, I believe it was a P2 last time out. Srivatsa, early days for him. This is his second race in this league, and he seems to have some very, very good pace to compete with the top runners. It's a real shame that he's joined the league so late. Otherwise, he would definitely go in P7. Srivatsa goes P2. Solid lap from him, 23.8. Well, it seems to be a very, very competitive lobby of the top four anyways for pole position. Let's see if anyone else is able to compete and set a time in order to kind of put themselves amongst the top five, top four, top five. This is a track, of course, where lots of overtaking can be done due to the two long DRS straights coming into this chicane here, and of course you ideally want to be overtaking into the end of this second part of the chicane here, the second straight. But Lopo, good to see you tonight. Appreciate you tuning in. I knew you'd be around because you can't resist some Division 2 racing. So good to see you here. I appreciate it. And Ishii could be catching up some traffic now. Oh, definitely a little bit put off by that car there. She keeps it within track limits and goes P1, 23.6, so a very, very decent lap there from Ishii. 2/10 margin nearly to Firefly. Let's go on board with my GOAT. My GOAT is Mr. Nathwani here. Pretty good lap from Nathwani so far, using a lot of ERS out of the second part of the back straight there. Coming into the slow section of, well, this is midway through sector 3. Doesn't have a huge amount of ERS to play for, so perhaps needs to stick it into recharge mode or none through that section. It's going to be running out of ERS before the line, so it'll be down on power output. And the last coming to the line, what is it going to be for Nathwani? And it's P2. Good enough for P2. Ishii has a very sizable gap at the moment. Nearly 2/10 again to Nathwani. So Ishii seems to be absolutely dialed in for this particular track. Go on board with DJ Lawson. who is still going. I'm not sure if this is a flying lap or he's just finished another flying lap. Expedito seems to be on an out lap as well, or no, he's just coming into the box perhaps. There we go. Expedito's running out of battery at the moment. I don't think they do quali laps in race mode to see how to deploy the battery. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the drivers aren't really aware that they can switch ERS modes, as we've seen with DJ Lawson. Oh, I think you mean Grand Prix mode, right? Oh, as you see, Aston Martin having a little bit of a venture off into outside of the pit lane when he's trying to box. It is a tricky pit entry because you cannot touch any of the white lines, because you will then go and invalidate your lap or get a track limits warning, and that's not what you want to be doing. And Srivatsa, on board with Srivatsa now to see if he can improve for his second lap of the session. And Srivatsa seems to be dialed in here. He's been taking some pretty good lines so far. Seems to have his ERS usage pretty nailed down, although he's blasting it down this first straight here. Again, very nice exit and entry, or entry and exit out of the chicane there, but he's already down quite a bit on ERS and needs to do a little bit of recharging if he's able to maximize the battery power for this last sector. But so far it seems to be a very good lap indeed from Srivatsa. He's able to recharge a little bit through that slow section through the hotel. Pole position, yep. Very, very, very good lap indeed from Srivatsa there. And Kodoy bests that a little bit with almost a 2/10 gap to Srivatsa, so the times are tumbling and absolutely want to be that last driver. Yeah, I mean, that's something that, of course, as these drivers will learn as they go through the game cycle, and you know, as they drive a little bit more on the game. But yeah, lots of us were. I mean, a lot of these drivers, this will be their first experience in league racing. So it comes with time, comes with laps on the track. I, for one, was definitely, I mean, I think I started on F1 2020, my first league racing career. So definitely learned a lot throughout these last few years. And we're on board now with Roberto. 4 years ago, still that slow. Still slow, still on controller. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. I'm an old man, bro. I'm 29 years old. I don't have the reaction time like you young 19-year-olds and whatever. Motion guard has DNF from the session, or retired from the session, as he's coming out of the pits, so seems to be happy with his time so far. I'm not sure if that was an accident or if he's actually had a little bit of an incident. And Roberto, I'm not sure if he's improving here. I've turned the Lap data on. Oh, Roberto's not happy with his lap, so he's going to be boxing in order to get one final run in. Smart decision from him. On board with Mohammed Mamdo, Egyptian King, for his one and only lap of the session. Leaves plenty of room on exit there in order to not invalidate his one lap. Ooh, goes a little bit wide there. It was a little bit of the ERX just to try to make up a little bit more time there, but 17.775 split for the first sector is not bad at all. Coming up with some traffic up ahead, and I believe that he'll get out of the way. Yes, he does indeed. Good awareness from these Division 2 drivers tonight. Mohammed having a fairly tidy lap so far, coming into the hotel section now. The last part of the lap stays within track limits on the exit there. A little bit of too much of a tight line there, and decent final corner. Hesitant on the power there, but let's see where he's able to go. Only P13, unfortunately. Only P13 for Mohammed. Is she now? Oh, it's gonna run into some traffic. Oh. And yeah, that is not what you want to be doing. That's Mohammed, who is going to be incurring a penalty, I fear, for the next race. And Ishii has lost his wing. And these two are racing now on the oh dear, that's not what you want to be seeing. Need a little bit more awareness there from Mohammed, unfortunately. We're on board with Firefly now as he looks to challenge for the top positions. He's already in P5 at the moment, provisionally. He's up a 10.5 on his previous best, which is a massive improvement. That would be good at the moment if he's able to manage that. For about P3 on the grid, so I'll go up a couple positions. But he wants more. He wants that pole position, that crucial P1, P2 starting position here tonight in Abu Dhabi. Track that we should be seeing plenty of overtaking. And strategy-wise, 100% going to be the medium to hards, in my opinion. Up by 2/10, Firefly. Just keep it nice and tight between now and the end of the lap. See what he's able to do coming across. Oh, and he invalidates that. I could tell that he was just about to invalidate that. That is extremely unfortunate for him. On board with Nathwani now, who's up by almost a 10th at the moment. But he wants more. The Bartofor now takes provisional P1 from Kodoi, who is actually still on a lap at the moment. Srivatsa not able to improve. Srivatsa provisionally P3 at the moment. Let's see what he's able to do, using all of his ERS right up the line. Forgets to turn it off through the corner, so he's going to maybe have some issues on traction, but nope, he is using full traction control and stays P6. Kodoi, is he able to... Oh, Kodoi, actually, yeah, there we go. Kodoi takes pole position. Fantastic lap from Kodoi, able to separate himself by just over a 10th from the Bartofor. So big congratulations to him for stealing that pole position right at the death here in Division 2. Divine Eye Racing. So there you have it. That is your grid for our race tonight. Kodoi followed by the Bartofor. Srivatsa in his second race tonight in Divine Eye, takes a P3 start. Ishii, who was unfortunately impeded on his final run, will start from P4. Ange Hamid in P5, Nathwani and Firefly, the two British drivers, starting from P6 and P7 respectively. This is going to be a good one tonight, guys. As we got our drivers fixing up their strategies now, any last minute setup adjustments, but very much should be a medium to hard strategy. That is what we've seen all the pros do, or most of the pros. It's just a bit too much work to do if you go hard to medium. You'll be wanting to go about lap 17. I think there's 27 laps in this race. So I think there's a lot of work to be doing if you're not slipstreaming, not DRS swapping with another driver around you as well. Here we go. We are ready for tonight's race. And what tires do we have? Mostly medium tires. Just the two drivers who opt to start on the hards. But Kodoi, crucially, all the top 9 starting on medium. So plenty to go. Obviously, we have a long race ahead. Don't want to be fighting too much and losing DRS on the cars ahead, but at the same time, there is plenty to fight for. With the top 7, top 8, all of a similar pace, I'd want to say. And Kodoi is, I was just about to say, is losing a bit of his battery, but he's stuck it back into none in order to recharge just a little bit more through the last parts of You're racing next week. I'm gonna tell Howland to race next week, bro. Gonna be on your ass. Pause. 36 seconds worth of pens. Is this? Yeah, this is a track where you can pick up lots of pens. I'm gonna say 45, because you have to consider the 10-second penalties for speeding in the pit lane that we tend to see quite a bit. You got to consider hitting people under the safety car, which we've seen quite a bit. So I think closer to a minute is what we're going to be seeing. Here we have it. All the drivers are lined up and ready to go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and we are go, 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 go tonight in Divine Eye Racing Division 2. Decent get off the line from the Bartofer as he looks to challenge in turn 1, tries to stay out of it. It was I think that was a Williams going a little bit deep. That was Ishii actually, a little bit deep into turn 1. And the Bartofer is looking to challenge Kodo. I put him under a little bit of pressure early on in the race. And ooh, that seems to be a huge clusterfuck down in the back. And I did see a car go around. That is Nathwani, unfortunately, my favorite driver, who has had a little bit of a spin. And it's unfortunate for him. So I hope he's able to catch up back within the DRS at least, so he's able to fight for some solid points and keep his championship charge going. So we got the ERS Go is in P6, my friend. He's in P6. He's made an overtake. Let's have a status check. He's already down to 15%. ERS Go, my friend. Gonna shoot him a message after this race. Here we go, on board with Ishii, who's really close to Srivatsa. The top four, not quite getting away, but setting the pace here early on. Roberto seems to be hanging back just a little bit. Does have plenty of ERS to use in case he needs to sneak back in within the DRS of the cars ahead. But now there is a little bit of a gap. DJ Lawson has unfortunately fallen out of the DRS from the cars ahead. His DRS is extremely low. Roberto does have the DRS, although he temporarily did fall back, and are we going to see a move now from the Bartover? He's stuck his ERS into none, so recharging a little bit, and Srivatsa seems to be closing up quite quickly, and a big move from Ishii down the inside of Srivatsa, and Ishii seems to have come off a lot worse there, and Srivatsa now, actually no, Srivatsa came off worse, so Ishii suffers from front wing damage. I'm not sure if it was from that particular incident, but he's looking to make the move past once again. But Roberto fighting it around the inside and seems to be holding off Srivatsa for the moment. Fantastic racing between these two, respectful racing, which is what we like to see here. But Roberto, yeah, will Srivatsa, or Ishii should I say, yep, he's got both wings damaged now, so he's going to be wanting to come in. Look at that, he's got no end plates and he's continuing on. Why are you doing that? You are only hurting yourself. Roberto needs to recharge, so does Srivatsa, in order to get past as soon as possible. Yeah, he's got absolutely no front end, no turn in whatsoever, and he's going to be extremely slow through these sections here. Roberto had to lift there in order to not break into the back of him. But this is only holding up the cars ahead, the cars behind. Here we go, Roberto going for a move potentially. Why is this camera? Oh, Roberto's picked up a time penalty for cutting the chicane there. DJ Lawson weighing up a move on Srivatsa now, but he's got less than 10% battery to play with. And we see a change of lead with the Bartofor and Kodo going side by side through the banked corner now. Bartofor seems to back out of it for now. Srivatsa gets past Roberto, and Ishii is still holding these drivers up in front, so Srivatsa really needs to get a move on, get past Ishii if he's able to, and could be getting it done here. Oh, that is not what you want to see from... Oh dear. Oh dear. That's not the kind of racing you want to be seeing. Pros in a one-lap race. Yeah, no comment. Ishii somehow still in P3, although he is missing both of his front wings end plates. So, yeah, I'm not sure what he's kind of playing at here. I mean, maybe waiting for a safety car in order to box. Clean in yearbook? Yeah, I mean, shit. Sorry, Max Verstappen. But Srivatsa now trying to get past Roberto. Roberto not fighting this one at the moment. Does not move across to defend. So lets him go. Really have got into the DRS of the car ahead. No, he does not, but Roberto does have the DRS on the car behind, or car in front. Srivatsa is incredibly low, and will breeze past once again. So Srivatsa needs to do some work in order to recharge his ERS as best he can. And then breeze past because Ishii's getting away, which is not what you want. I mean, that is a car that is going to be extremely slow and a burden for everyone. TJ Lawson now. Oh, as the Expedito goes a little bit deep on that corner there. Motion guard on the hard tires at the moment. And we see DJ Lawson into the pits. What's happened to DJ Lawson? Has he got some damage? Or is he just pitting early? He must have damage. No, he is just getting a change of tires. So he's going to the hard tires super early, hoping for a big undercut and perhaps a late safety car. Bartow for he's on a top 5 strat. Yeah. Or 5-stop strat. That's funny. Oh dear, all kinds of action going on here. With 4 drivers in the mix, Srivatsa trying to get past Ishii, and he finally manages to do so. However, he does have the ERS, does have the DRS, and Waza is potentially moving up now. Waza challenging for P3 with Srivatsa, and oh no, that's going to be a virtual safety car. No. Ishii, Srivatsa, unfortunately, his race goes from bad to worse. Wasn't able to get by and clear Ishii, and he was challenged by Waza, unfortunately, on the end of the back straight, and as a result of some clean or wheel-to-wheel racing, has unfortunately picked up some damage. Ange Hamid now behind Ishii, who's still going in this race with that front wing damage. And Srivatsa has gone into the pits now as well. Super Sean, our championship leader, has made his way up to P7 after having a qualifying ban. He's going to send it down the inside. No, he does not. Opts to live another day. And Ishii now picks up a time penalty for his woes. So big train here from P3 down to P7. Not a huge train, but a decent sized one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars in the battle here for the last podium position at the moment. And Super Sean definitely has some pace to spare here, and really needs to try and clear Ange Hamid or pick off these cars one by one if he's able to. Expedito now picking up a time penalty, which not at the moment wouldn't drop him down any positions, but come the end of the race perhaps we'll have to see with that one. Oh. But the top 2 still battling away, getting away from the cars behind. DRS swapping every lap it seems. They wanted to build a nice gap for themselves in order to fight for the win, just those 2, come the end of the race. And we see some weaving from Raza, and Roberto really wants to get past. He's using all of his ERS to try and get past. Lifts into the corner there. Super Sean does a fantastic move on Ange Hamid there. Really well done from him. Moves himself up into P6. Now he's got Ishii up ahead, who does have damage, as we know. Oh. And Ishii decides to overtake off the track, and that is a fairly easy move for Super Sean there. So up to P5 for Super Sean now. Super Sean can, I'd say, quite easily finish on a podium position, which would be a fantastic result from him, considering where he started at the back of the grid. On the medium tires as well, so the medium tires still have a fairly decent amount of lap time in them, life in them. What lap do you want to be pitting? Mr. Strategy in the chat. I'd say probably lap 12, lap 14, right? Sean seems to struggle with turn in there, but he has temporarily dropped Ishii, the car behind. Ishii is using a little bit of DRS, I think. And Super Sean won't have the DRS on the cars ahead. But Waza now pushing, wanting to make an overtake on Roberto. Roberto is not defending. Faking going for the move. Yeah, lap 13. Yeah, I think so. Oh, that'll be a track limits warning for Waza, so he's got to keep it clean, really. Vartofor and Kodoi swapping once again. Waza pushing to try and make a move around the outside. I'm going to see some good side-by-side racing. What is his camera angle? Comes out side-by-side from him, which has allowed Super Sean now to catch back up to the pack. Kodoi and Waza swapping once again. Not an ideal place to be swapping, but maybe there was a slight error there from the Vartofor, which enabled the easy pass for Kodoi. And Ishii is into the pits. I hope he's going to be changing his front wing, and we see a time limit or track limits penalty for Firefly as well. 3 seconds for him. Yep, definitely get that front wing changed. Firefly is also into the pits and comes into the box ahead. Do they come out together? Firefly is actually able to get out in front of Ishii, so at least these two can potentially work together. Hopefully not much fighting, because they want to be working together. Oh no! Oh no! Who was that? That's Ishii, who's just changed his front wing, and I believe picked up some more damage. No? Was that Ishii? Or was that Firefly? I saw some. Yeah, it was Firefly. Just come out the pits and to the tricky tunnel area. He's picked up some front wing damage by hitting the wall. Unfortunate for him. Oh, big send on the inside from Ishii. Seems to get the move done very nicely indeed, and that's going to be some contact on the cars behind from Ishii and Firefly. Firefly is unfortunately now into the wall, having picked up damage, and his race goes from bad to worse. Super Sean now onto the back of Waza. Waza needs to recharge some battery. It seems. No, he's got I think 60%, so he's in a decent spot. Still in none, so I'm not sure what he's doing here, but it's only slowing his own race time down. He's trying to lift, perhaps play some DRS games. You don't need to be doing DRS games this early, guys. You need to be working together here. Which is Roberto now to get back into the battle, and virtual safety car has been deployed. Who have we got stopped on track? Have we got anyone stopped on track? Not sure what happened there. We got Firefly into the pits to change his front wing once again. Will top two pit? That is the question. If I'm them, I'm pitting onto the hard tires right now. If the safety car stays out, or the virtual safety car is still enabled by the time they come around to the pit entry. DRS enabled, racing back on once again, so no need to pit. Tried to take advantage of that safety car and came into the pits in order to stick the hard tires on, go to the end of the race, but unfortunately for him, he is about to get lapped, it seems. DRS God, DJ Lawson making an overtake on Motion God, who's in the pits. Queasy also in the pits as well, coming to change off those medium tires. He's been on since the start of the race. Super Sean seems to have lost out some time to Waza. Waza, of course, on the hard tires, which will start to get better and better. Of course, I think they are past the crossover point. So those hard tires will definitely be in a nicer spot at the moment. And if I'm Super Sean, I'm thinking about an undercut. I'm pitting lap 11, lap 12. In order to try and gain track position at least for Waza. Give Waza all the hard work to do in order to try and catch up. Shrivatsa fighting with Nathwani now, two quick drivers, so hopefully they can work together. I mean, that's what you want to be seeing. I mean, especially when you got two drivers who are used to being towards the front of the grid. You want to ideally be working together with one another. You want to maximize your result. You can fight later on for the points come the end of the race, but that's really what you want to be doing. It's working together. DJ Lawson getting past Roberto, who's come into the pits and is on his way out. Lose potentially another just 1-2 positions for Roberto, so on the hard tires from now until the end of the race, unless there is of course a safety car. And let's see what Roberto is able to do. He's had a pretty solid race so far. These two at the front still fighting, or not really fighting, but still doing plenty of swapping. Waza seems to be closing in actually, because his tires are absolutely in the sweet spot at the moment. Seems to be driving pretty well. Can hear that car really wanted to get that traction down, and Bartofor is the one to go for the undercut. The Bartofor aims to go for the undercut. That Kodoi, he needs to have a really good outlap now. Or sorry, in-lap, if he's able to try to cover off the Bartofor. Let's see where the Bartofor comes in. Super Sean is coming into the pits, so he has gone for the undercut strategy, as I mentioned, which hopefully works out in favor of him. He's going to want to be maximizing his result, of course, and virtual safety car. Yep, full course safety car. So Kodoi, this has worked out fantastically well for Kodoi. Full course safety car here tonight. Lots of drivers into the pits right now, so I guess it works out, but ultimately it's going to help these drivers towards the front. Kodoi, Waza, DJ Lawson as well is going to benefit from this, I believe. Well, not a huge amount, but he will benefit. He has made a pit stop already though. Let's see the drivers who have not made a pit stop. So just the two at the front really, Kodoi and Waza. So those will be the two that will be obviously benefiting the most. The Bartofor won't pit as he is on fresh hard tires. DJ Lawson might pit. Super Sean should not pit, so he should be still in that P5 position at the very least. Maybe benefit from DJ Lawson pitting. Okay, I've not touched any of those white lines. Does a good job on the entry. No speeding. Very nice. Oh no. Oh dear. Waza. That's not what you want going into the pits, mate, under a virtual safety car. Or a full course safety car. Any safety car. You don't want it. Oh no. And he's sped into the pits. Race undone for Waza. All his hard work through 14 laps. I know, he doesn't recharge at all, mate. So DJ Lawson is coming to the pits. Super Sean continues on, of course. So Super Sean will benefit and come out in P3. Gahan made his pit stop the lap before. We fully ate that wall. But what this safety car will allow to, or will allow the race to kind of get back to a place where Pete drivers are obviously going to be snaking back up to each other. The penalties will come into much more of effect now. Waza, if I'm him, I'm pitting again to try and get off those, get that 10-second penalty removed, because that was really unfortunate for him. He was having a really good race up until that point. Waza is into the pits in order to get his time penalty removed. So unfortunately he's going to be towards the back of the grid, loses out quite substantially, but nonetheless he will be able to benefit from getting rid of that penalty. And what tire is he going on to? Some fresh mediums. So we should see one more lap of the safety car, so this should be the final lap. I think if these back markers are able to close up in time, it's a big gap really, 45 seconds from Queasy to Waza at least. Waza of course is in the pits. Yeah, I'm not sure why people tune in but don't type anything. Be interactive, man. I think a lot of people are tuning into the stream who are maybe in the race and they are listening for maybe some strategy calls, that kind of thing. But otherwise they're just bots. YouTube bots. Eight people watching. I mean, I'm one of them because I've got the stream on my laptop. Safety car is probably going to be going around for another lap, isn't it? Yes, it will be. So one more lap of the safety car, and then we'll be back racing once again. They're leaving. It always goes up and down. I mean, we've had like 10 people at some point. I'm not sure what goes on, but hey, it is what it is. So there we have it. Queasy, Mohammed and Firefly have caught up to the back of the pack now. And we should be going racing once again at the end of this lap. I'm going to grab a drink of water real quick if I can find my water bottle. I feel like I'm getting sick. I hate that. That's the worst part. I feel like I'm getting sick. Yeah, next season that is not going to be happening, bro. I'm sorry. It's not happening. I think the teams are very, very well balanced at the moment. Oh, some overtaking on the safety car once again. Firefly. Oh, some more overtaking on the safety car. Safety car in this lap. It would be balanced. You're washed. What happened to the quali goat, man? All of it. 1 second he's the quali goat. All of a sudden now you're washed. Bro, I'm washed. I actually played a little bit just before. I hopped on to this, do this. Doing a 2-player career with a friend of mine. And yeah, I'm washed compared to last season where I won the championship. Washed. I don't even play this game anymore. I don't play this game. Not even ranked or anything like that. I go back and watch my old clips and old highlights from old races from last season because I have them all saved on my YouTube channel. And bro, I was on a different level back then. And here we go. Kodoi getting ready to go racing once again. We'll go on board with the Bartofor. Bartofor has 1 lap older hard tires. But when is Kodoi going to go? He's leaving it very, very late indeed. Getting cold tires for everyone and off he goes. Struggle to get down on the traction for the Bartofor there. The Imola chicane professional. Hey man. Hey man. That chicane's hard, man. Even the esports drivers hate that fucking corner. Oh, the Bartofor sends a move down the outside, but does a little bit of a switchback. Blocked off very nicely indeed by Kodoi, but all drivers safely through after the safety car restart. A little bit of a gap from Queasy to Mohammed right at the back, but nonetheless, everyone safely through, which is what we want to be seeing. 15 drivers in contention. DJ Lawson already down to 15% of ERS. That is what you want to be seeing. No more ERS for him for the rest of the race. And he's going to be going down to 0 anytime now. He's got no power, no more power to overtake. He's on the medium tires though, so it does have a little bit more grip than the cars around him. Super Sean keeping up very nicely with the cars ahead. And from what we've seen before, the Bartofor it's just different. The Bartofor isn't, you know, afraid of getting penalties. Penalties don't avoid him, let's just say. So with Super Sean, we know he's very consistent. So if he's able to keep within track limits, potentially he can benefit from some time penalties around him, whether that's going to be Kodoi or the Bartofor. Roberto, I know, is going to send one. No, he's not. He aims to stay behind. Rishi, and no, he's going to be wanting to send one to his teammate. Nope. No, and that's Firefly who's out of the session, and that is yet another safety car. Once again, I'm not sure what happened. We didn't see the incident, unfortunately, but unfortunately, it seems to be in the wall on the first part of the the penalties are scared of him. Yeah, I mean, he's just too consistent. He's just too consistent. How can you give this guy a penalty? I think Super Sean might be my new favorite driver. Unless not the one he does something spectacular, but I think it's gotta be switching over to Super Sean. But are we gonna be seeing anyone switch to the soft tires? Perhaps the mediums. Medium would be the smart choice, of course, if anyone was to pit, but I don't think you want to be losing track position at this moment in time. Haha, I love the games from the front too. Kodoi trying to go check DJ. No, he's a medium, mate. He's just always a medium. Medium or overtake. It's only medium or overtake. He's just going to stay behind the safety car, charge it up that way. Oh, he's in none. DJ Lawson has gone down to none. Big announcement. This is a groundbreaking discovery. He has discovered none. Oh my god. Oh, there's some overtaking. Why not? And he's on the battery once again, for some reason, under the safety car. Well, we did see one driver, that was Expedito, I believe, who came into the pits and stuck on some mediums. So he's going for the fresh tyre approach. Nathwani has some fairly fresh mediums on as well. See if the car is going to come in this lap. I don't think so. I think we would have seen it come in already, or seen it have the notification. But I could be wrong. So I think another lap under the safety car, unfortunately. Super Sean once again positioned very nicely for a potential race win here. Safety car is indeed in once again for another lap, or out once again for another lap. Oh yeah, the glaze you did see in China every day. I'm watching that quali session. Shut up, bro. I can't remember that. No glazing over here, though. No glazing over here. I don't know what you're talking about. Safety car in this lap. Cordoy once again leading the safety car on this restart. We got 10 laps of racing, or 9 laps of racing actually, from here to the end of the session. And he goes early this time, catches the Bartow for sleeping just a little bit. 7/10 gap from Cordoy to the Bartow for. Up to 8/10 now. So very nicely done from Cordoy there. Super Sean picks up a penalty. My guy. My guy. What are you doing? Oh, Super Sean, bro. Oh, TJ Lawson side by side for position 4. And seems to temporarily take. He has taken the position. He's going to use all of his ERS now. He's going to be temporarily P4. Is he going to stick it down to none? No, he is not. Hey, that was very good braking there from DJ Lawson. 6 on his ERS once again. Ishii and Motion God. Motion God has no ERS to play with. Ishii, is we going to see him move down the inside? Yes, we are. Is he going to stick it though? Yes, he is. Oh, has to go off track just slightly there, playing with the track limits, and a little bit of contact there from Motion God running into the back of him, unfortunately. But DJ Lawson doing a pretty good job at the moment of hanging in there with the cars ahead. Has to try and recharge his ERS if possible. He has once again deployed his ERS for no apparent reason. Goes off track. And that is definitely a warning. Using more of his ERS. Chill on the ERS, bro, if you're listening. Chill on the ERS. He's going to try and overtake, but he's not going to have anything to play with. That's got nearly taken out there. Was the McLaren came back onto track a little bit unsafely there, I have to say. And there is yellow flags towards the back. That is Expedito, unfortunately. DJ Lawson and Roberto going side by side through the back corner, and DJ Lawson pushes him out wide. That's not what you want to be seeing. Roberto fakes a move down the inside and top three of them temporarily gotten away. So Super Sean's got some crucial laps to try and hold on to the back of DJ Lawson, hold on to the back of Kodaway now and the bar Tofor, and try and get away with the use of ZRS. That is absolutely crucial for his race. Sean has a little bit of work to do. He's not in the slipstream of the cars ahead. Should be able to stick within the DRS. Yes, he does. Very nicely done from him. This is going to be crucial for his race. A little bit of a moment from Roberto up ahead, a little bit slidey on the exit. Roberto has no ERS to play with. Both Roberto and DJ Lawson, no ERS. Very nice move from Roberto there. Gets it done this time. Oh dear. Lots of contact going on at the front. Oh! What did I just see? Trying to get past Waza, who is slightly lower on ERS. Afwani, is he going to make this move into turn one? Around the outside, very nicely done. Stays within track limits as well. Well done from Afwani. However, Waza will have the benefit of the DRS now. Super Sean's drops out of DRS from the cars ahead, but he does have that 3-second buffer to DJ Lawson behind, and I only imagine that is going to be growing with every lap that passes. So for the win now, the bar Tofor and Kodaway. Bar Tofor going a little bit deep there, which will compromise his line on the exits, and use a little bit of ERS to play with on the exit, and Kodaway lifts to try and stay behind, allowing Super Sean to once again catch up. Ooh, DJ Lawson and Roberto fighting once again. Can Roberto stick it around the outside? Yes, he can. Fantastic move from Roberto there. Srivatsa has fought his way back up into a respectful position. He needs to try and clear these cars in front of him if possible. Both drivers are very, very low on the ERS, it has to be said. So hopefully with the use of that, he is able to get past, and that was Ange Hamid, I think it was, who had a little bit of a spin right at the back of the field. Supershawn not quite in the DRS of the cars ahead once again. He's not using any to try and get back in the DRS. And Cordoy is lifting. He's playing for that last lap overtake. Smart tactics from the Bartova here, however, he has to make sure that he can get it done. And we're seeing lots more action towards the back. Unfortunately, that seems Mohammed is going the wrong way, and Ishii now picking up another time penalty, I believe. As he's going side by side with DJ Lawson, who's dropped down a few places now. So must have been a little incident there. DJ Lawson sends one down the inside. Is he going to make it stick though? Nice side by side racing, and he's going to have to stick behind. At the moment, he's got no ERS to play with. Doesn't challenge down into the hotel section. With Cordoy now, Supershawn still in this battle, has managed to claw back a little bit of time. All he's got to do is sit in the DRS of the cars in front. He's not challenging for the win, unfortunately, with that time penalty. Unless the drivers in front both pick up time penalties, then there's everything to play for. Waza now picking up a time penalty, his first of the race. 3 seconds for him, 3 seconds for Supershawn, 3 seconds for Roberto, 9 seconds for Ishii, and 3 seconds for Expedito. So quite a way off our prediction, actually. And Srivatsa seems to be getting past Roberto at this moment. You can see a fight back from Roberto here. No, Srivatsa seems to be doing a pretty good job. He's a little bit of ERS on the exit and side by side from Cordoy and the Bartofor. Cordoy very happy to sit behind for the moment. Now he knows that he's going to be looking for that last lap overtake. Bartofor going a little bit wide, so maybe perhaps a little bit ruffled by the attempt to overtake Cordoy. Much lower on ERS compared to Cordoy behind him. He's got about 30% coming up to the line, whereas Cordoy has about 75. Out fighting into turn 1. Nothing seems to get the move done. Lifting once again from Cordoy. This is going to allow Supershawn to potentially challenge. Deep braking. Cordoy does not want to be overtaken by Supershawn here. Realistically, Supershawn is not challenging for the win at the moment. He needs to save his battery as much as he can. We are going to see a move for the lead here from Cordoy. Side by side, not quite. Bartofor sticks behind the moment. Srivatsa and Roberto fighting once again. Seemed to go a little bit wide there from Roberto. Perhaps there was a little bit of contact on entry to the corner. So now the Bartofor, it's coming to his hands really. Needs to recharge his battery as much as he can for the final lap of the race, but we're coming on to the penultimate lap here, lap 28 of 29. Who's going to take the win? I'd imagine we're going to be seeing some crazy last lap fighting. Yeah, I think we might see a crash. I think we might see a crash, and that is Mohammed Dole, unfortunately losing bits of his front wing on the exit of the hotel section. It's a very tricky area, for sure. Roberto getting past Srivatsa now. And Cordoy still in the lead at the moment. A little bit of ERS on exit from the Bartofor there. Cordoy's using all of his ERS, or most of it. Similar levels of ERS at the moment. Well, it happened. Yeah, it did happen, but I think we might see a crash between the top two. That is what I am predicting on the last lap. Super Sean to take the win away from under their noses, because these two will have crashed and won't be able to recover in time. That is what I'm foreseeing in the future on this last lap of racing. Issue with another time penalty. Yep, there we go. A little bit of lag. Here we can see DRS on the exit here. No, just hot lap. Bartow 4 is using to try and close up. Motion guard with 3 seconds now. Bartow 4 has more ERS to play with, but I think he's a bit too far back, unfortunately. He's closed up a lot in the braking zone there. Needs a really good exit. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle on the exit there, and Kodoy, I think, will be running away with this one. Is he closing in fast enough? I don't think he is. Going defensive. Oh my goodness! Side-by-side action. Has more ERS, perhaps. Kodoy is very, very low indeed. Needs some brake in the middle of the track. It was a little bit deep there from Kodoy, but fantastic racing. He's pushing him through the corners. Oh no, the Bartow 4. Oh no. That is incredibly unfortunate for him. That was fantastic racing between the two there, and I think Super Sean could be coming away with a P2. Kodoy crosses the line to win in Abu Dhabi. Super Sean comes across to secure a P2 finish. Srivatsa in P3 after a tough opening stint. I mean, he started the race, I believe, up in P4, I think. He was able to have a fantastic recovery. Back to P3. The Bartow 4, unfortunately, deserved more than that. Finishing P4 tonight. Really unlucky for him to have that last contact there. Roberto and Nathwani having some solid finishes for the Aston Martin team there. DJ Lawson, our ERS GOAT, finishing in P7. Waza will be a bit disappointed with that 10-second time penalty he picked up, which really compromised his race, having to serve that. But other than that, he was having a fantastic race in the beginning stint. Anga Hamid and Motion God, the two Mercedes, finishing side by side. Ishii with all those time penalties going down the order into P11. Queasy finishing in P12, Expedito P13, and Mohammed just rounding the final corner at the moment to come across the line in P14. And there you have it, folks. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Fantastic race here tonight. Super Sean is our driver of the day. And there you have it. That is our standings for the race tonight in Abu Dhabi. Obviously, reports could come in and this could affect the standings, but yet to be seen. I'd imagine we might see a couple. But thank you so much to everyone for tuning in. Super Sean from P15, last place on the grid to finish P2 on the podium. Fantastic, fantastic drive from him. Srivatsa started P3, finished P3. Bartow for down a couple positions. Roberto, very good race from him, as well as DJ Lawson and Waza as well. But yeah, congratulations to all of our drivers here tonight. Appreciate you, Lopo. Looking forward to seeing you race next week in Division 1. But yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Good night. Catch you all next week.